Well, welcome back to York Carolina. Of course, we all know that the topic of mental health is at the top of a lot of people's list and a part of a lot of our larger conversation. And a cool collaboration with USC Upstate and Denny's is really propelling that message forward. So we have Dr. Benny Harris, he's the chancellor at USC Upstate, along with Kelly Belay, the CEO of Denny's Corporation. Thank you both so much for joining us this morning to talk about this really cool summit that you have going on. Firstly, I want to talk about how did this connection with USC Upstate and Denny's Corporation, how did this collaboration come together?
Well, Jamarcus, first of all, I want to thank you for having us on your show. Both Kelly and I are extremely excited. I do think, and Kelly, it's kind of like when two people meet, both there are two versions of it, but I think both versions are excellent. But one of the things I was meeting with April Kelly Drummond, a part of Kelly's Denny's team, and at dinner, she and I were talking about her new CEO and what her priorities are. And mental health was one of those important priorities. And so as April and I advanced that conversation, I talked about the mental health issues among college students and how we're preparing our students for a workforce and how COVID has impacted. And I just wonder if there was an opportunity for us to collaborate. And Denny's had some exceptional things already going on around some campaigns they have within the organization, which I'm sure Kelly would talk more about. But that was an opportunity for Denny's and USC Upstate headquarters right here to be able to collaborate and have some conversations around how we prepare in the workforce, and that workforce many times going to corporations like Denny's. Kelly, you want to
That's exactly right, Dr. Harris. I love that because, in fact, that is true. We have done so much good work with USC Upstate. Got a chance to meet Dr. Harris. I met you really my first month, I think, at Denny's. It's been almost 8 months for me. And so there was so much good work that was already happening with Denny's and with USC Upstate, with scholarship programs. This just seemed like a natural evolution. In fact, Denny's is 70 years young this year. And Denny started with a single purpose, and that was around our love to feed people. And it's bodies, minds, and souls. So as Dr. Harris just said, this is preparing people. College students, frankly, are one of the most kind of lonely generations right now. And there's a need in a big way. Those are the same people that come to not only our corporation in Spartanburg and in Dallas, but also into our restaurants. And if you can get them then, and we can embrace the whole person by doing things like this and improving our offerings for our employees and making a bigger mark in the community, it just makes complete sense for Denny's and our partnership with USC Upstate.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic to address it from the school and the student level, and then as an employee level and as a CEO. I think that those are both fantastic ways to be able to further this conversation. Let's talk about the event that you guys have coming up on April 22nd. It's a summit that's focused on mental health. What does that event look like, and who are you hoping will attend this event?
So we've got an incredible lineup. So we've got panels we're doing. We've got our Denny's chefs creating great, healthy, wholesome food. We are literally trying to embrace bodies, minds, and spirit, as I said, bodies, minds, and souls, rather, as I said, that is our purpose. So we've just got a full day. It's open to the public. We think, why not? In our backyard, it's our home. Open this up to the public, and then I expect to have a lot of our employees there in full force, ready to embrace the topics. So we've got panels with experts, like Dr. Harris in this area. And we've just got a great lineup of just the best thinking, bringing the best thinking forward around mental health right now.
Excellent. Also, and I really have to give Denny's the credit for this work and for this opportunity. And we were able to say, okay, USC Upstate is a wonderful place. Jamarcus, 64% of the students who experience some level of mental health drop out of college. 64% of the students who experience mental health drop out. So it becomes a major issue, or stop out, let me say that, of how do we address that. And so when I asked Kelly and her team if they would be willing to host it on the USC Upstate campus, they saw it as a wonderful opportunity to amplify the message around mental health and to talk to students. So we have Roland Martin, who's going to be facilitating many discussions. We have Dr. Daniel Dawes. He's the Senior Vice President for Global Health Equity at Meharry Medical College. We have the Kennedy Forum. We have a number of people coming together to really opine upon this discussion and to elevate its importance. And what I think that is so important by having Kelly, who's the CEO, to bring this voice to the table, it speaks to our corporations and how do we take care of the wellness and the health of our employees? Not just coming, spending time with us at work, but that's a person, the whole person. And I'm just really, really impressed with their leadership in this particular space. And I'm excited about what we're doing at USC Upstate to address this with our students as well.
Some big names at this event. Again, this is April 22nd, 8:30 until 1 o'clock at the Humanities and Performing Arts Theater on the campus of USC Upstate. Does it cost us any money to attend this? Do we need to pre-register? What are some of those details?
We would love you to pre-register. We've got information going out on that. We're putting it out on all of our channels. So we'd love you to pre-register. It does not cost anything to attend our event.
That's great information for free. So definitely take advantage of that on April 22nd. In closing, I would love, just to be able to hear both of you powerhouses speak about your careers and how mental health and how valuable that is to on both sides of the spectrum would be a valuable thing for anyone to do. So the fact that they get some of that and as well as these speakers is a big bonus. What do you guys want people to take away from this event? I know you guys are focusing on the whole person, which is important, and it's also important to be able to talk about mental health and talk about how it impacts everyone in different arenas. What do you guys want people when they walk out of those doors on April 22nd? What do you want them to have experienced or to take away from that event?
Mm-hmm. First and foremost, we want them to know, again, Denny's the place where we want to have this conversation. We say we are America's diner for today's America. And today's America is incredibly diverse. We are diverse in every sense, in our employee base, which can be affected by this and impacted by this, in our guest base and our franchise base. We've got amazing stories. I started my career in this industry, a place where we could be seen, where you do embrace the whole person and you embrace their trajectory. And so this is an opportunity for people to come away and say, wow, we might be getting this conversation right just by putting it out there. Right. So if one person says, I'm better for having heard that conversation, I'm not alone, then we will have succeeded on April 22nd.
And I think we have to destigmatize the disease of mental health, to destigmatize that. 75% of our students reported moderate or severe psychological distress in college, according to one of the national research think tanks, 75%. So we have to destigmatize that and say that it's okay to get help. And then we have to recognize that we are on the end of this pandemic, and there was a lot of loneliness that occurred during that particular time. And so we want people to self-report, self-identify, to stand up and say, I need help. And you can see what's happening across the country. There are negative stories of what's happened with people who are not addressing their mental health, that we don't want that to be a narrative if we have anything to do as we can influence that. So I just think it's important that people walk away feeling like it's okay to not be okay.
Yep.
And that there's help in our corporations like Denny's, there's help at USC Upstate, and we as a community come together and really elevate that.
Well, you are both doing your part to increase awareness and increase that conversation that's happening around mental health. Thank you both to Dr. Benny Harris, Kelly Valade with Denny's Corporation, USC Upstate. Dr. Harris, thank you both so much for being here and for talking about this. Again, this event is happening on April 22nd. We'll be sure to put all that information and a link to register at our website, yourcarolina.tv.